Hey guys, Boomslang here. I just wanted to go over the solo dungeons with some tips and tricks, update you on what's happening with the giveaway, just in case you guys aren't aware. And obviously my last video was about the new skins, and as you can see I'm already using it to have the Morgana mount. So yeah, it's just a kind of overall tips, tricks, what I'm currently doing and what maybe you guys can do. So, oh, and I also wanted to touch on the Spectral Boar, because obviously that's the mount for this month, just in case you haven't seen it or already gotten it. It's a really nice looking mount. It's definitely worth getting. If you don't have premium, try and build up enough money to achieve premium, or pay for it. It's whatever your financial situation is. And all you have to do is just get the 600k bonus points, which if you just log in and get your 1200, you get the 50 each day, and you just need to do it for 6 days. You can obviously do it in the first 2 days if you really like power through, because you get these key bonus points from killing mobs. So if you fame farm for just hours on end, then you'll get it very quick. So I'll be getting the chest today, the third one to unlock. That's another thing to keep in mind. You know, you want to unlock these chests all the way through. So I would just recommend every day come in and do your daily bonus. If you have time, do more to get the stretch for the 600 quick. It's totally up to you. And you get this cool mount. And as always, I recommend keeping the mounts, not selling them, not using them, because everybody else will keep them, use them, and then they'll be lost or destroyed, or you know, something will happen to them and they'll just stay with you for a long time. So, on to solo dungeons. Now, this is a current setup that I'm using for speed, for killing efficiency, and also for anti-ganking and ganking. It's kind of a mix of all of them. It's a really nice build, and the most important thing that some people have already touched on in YouTube videos is the Cabbage SOUP. It improves your health regeneration by 270% for 30 minutes. So when you pop this, and especially when you're running through, trying to speed through, I know people call it ratting, but a lot of people are doing it, so if you can't beat them, join them. And if you can't find them, do it yourself, because obviously you could kill people that are doing it and take over the dungeon. But especially when you're out of combat, your health just goes straight back up. It's really quick, and then I'm taking poisons with me just in case I do come across somebody and I can get some extra early damage off on them. Now, I'm using the Great Axe, and I've had to put it at tier 6. Obviously I put it at tier 6.1, but you could take tier 6 because I want the Raging Blades to be unlocked. Now, I've also put on a Demon Cape. It's quite expensive, so you don't have to do that, but it is worthwhile if you are going to gank somebody, because the first hit, it will put the lava pool under their feet, and by that point, if they're not moving, you will pop your AoE spells and just spin them to death. Now, you would do the D first, and then W or R, one or the other, first, and then the second. So if you do W first, you would follow up with the R, and then you'd pop your E. And with all that AoE, they should be dead or close to. You've got the Rejuvenating Sprint. It increases your movement speed for 100% and regenerates 34 health. So that has saved my life a couple of times. Just that little extra, you know, 3 ticks of 42 health, it stopped me from dying. So it's just a little worthwhile thing to keep in mind. And then obviously we've got the Stalker Jacket for that AoE lightning. We've got the Stalker Hood to take people out of stealth and also give you increased 20% damage. The boots, Knight's Boots for the Rejuvenating Sprint. Great Axe for all the combat spells, so your single target Q or your AoE target Q, which puts the bleed on. The Raging Blades W, that new spell. The R, which comes from the jacket, and your ultimate, the E, Whirlwind. So that's the combo that you want to use. If you want to follow my build, there's loads of builds out there that people can use. It's just the one that I like to use. And the Demon Cape creates a 3-meter radius of lava in an area below the enemy, deals 121 magic damage against players and 59 against creatures. So it's really nice, really good little setup. And that's pretty much it. It's just go in with a build that you're comfortable with. I'm just showing you the build that I use. You can use whatever build you wish. And just keep in mind, always go past the first mobs, which I'll give you a little rundown now in a dungeon. So just give me a minute and I will be back in a dungeon. Hey guys, so we're back and we're at a dungeon. Now I always go out to a dungeon that I feel comfortable to go to, take gear I'm comfortable losing, and just try to do it as quick as I can. So I've gone to a red zone because I can tell how many people are here. I do go to black zones sometimes, but just for the purpose of teaching people that may not know how solo dungeons work or what the best method is, I've gone to the red zone. So remember, this is a channel in when you don't click your horse. So it's a channel in. It used to be a channel out and you could actually get ganked that way, but they've changed it to an instance walk-in. So before you would click on it and your bubble would be down. By the time that you're able to click, bubble goes down. They hit you if they're waiting there and you're pretty much dead. So they've removed that, which is really nice. So we pop our cabbage soup. I always skip the first few mobs. Some people skip every mob. And that's called ratting, which means you just basically go ahead, look at my life, see? That's why cabbage soup is important. You basically run ahead and just kill all the bosses in here, take all the loot and A out. And that's all you do. You miss all of these mobs, you don't even bother killing them, wasting your time. And I'm just conscious of looking down here for when an enemy comes in. Now I'm just skipping ahead to see if a boss has been skipped, because a lot of people do that. And then I'll continue to kill mobs after that part. So at the moment my build is just purely trying to let me get through. I use my F when it's up to speed through mobs, and because of the cabbage soup my life just shoots up after I've come out of combat. So that's why everybody's running cabbage soup. It is now so expensive and it's one of the most OP foods in the game for this specific instance. Now this, because there's a boss, I'm gonna kill these mobs, and that's why I do this build, because it is so quick. It rips through people really quickly. Well, not people, mobs. The only problem with it is it's a bit of a long cooldown for at least to have the lightning spell back up. But you just use what you have. Now my life went quite low there, but I've got the damage to get through it, and because of the cabbage soup it shoots back up. And all you want to do is just kill the boss. My spell rotation will be up now, so that one, and I ran out of mana to spin. God damn it. And spin. And as you can see, it's not taken me very long at all to take the boss down. And there's my cape popping as well. And as you can see, there's nobody come in, so I know I'm safe. Loot is okay, mostly relics, runes, and souls. You do get the occasional nice item in here as well, but it's more for, if you're going to kill all the mobs, it's more for fame farm. Screw it, I'll just kill these. So the only problem with my build is the mana. Now that can be counteracted with a cape, which eludes my memory at the moment. But there's a cape that gives you back mana, so that would probably be really good for this build. But if you are going to skip with this build, skip through all the mobs, then you can. You just run through, and by the time I get to the next pack that I do want to engage, or the next boss, my mana should be back up, and obviously in between my health should be at full as well. So that's the crux of this build, is just to get as far as you can, as quickly as you can. Now these mobs could be a bit, yeah. So because there's mages in here, they slow me, and obviously those have got a big wide AoE. But as this isn't a black zone, I'm not worried about people sneaking up and just hitting me and taking my loot, because I know that there's no one in here currently, or at least there's no one hostile. So this is basically what you do, and don't forget there's these shrines, and that has given me the reflect and health regen. And you have two choices: go through, kill mobs, or go through, skip, and get to the boss. Those are your two options, and it's totally up to you which one you take. But because a lot of people are skipping anyway, I don't want to condone it, and I don't want to do it myself too much, but if everybody else is doing it, and I'm going to kill all the mobs at the start of a dungeon to find out that all the loot that I potentially would have had has already been basically stolen, and I'm probably going to want to do the same myself, because I'm just wasting my time otherwise, in some regards. If I'm there only for fame, then I wouldn't care. But I want to make some money out of this, so I want the loot. And if the loot isn't there because somebody's just rushed ahead, then it's going to be pretty annoying for me. So yeah, I mean this is the last boss, because he's got the little points coming off of his circle. So all you want to do is just take him down as quickly as you can, avoid all of his spells, and go and pick up your loot. There's still nobody in here unless they're not flagged. And one tip, you don't have to use these now. If you die, you lose everything, but these will stay in your inventory. So that's the dungeon. That's my tips. Cabbage Soup is your best friend when it comes to these sorts of runs. And a mobile build with nice AoE damage is also your friend. But you know, you can go in here as a healer, heal yourself through the packs if you want to rat and be that kind of person. And just use some damaging spells at the end to take out the boss and just pick up the loot. It is totally up to you what you guys do, but for me, I would say go through, kill as many mobs as you can, and just try and complete the dungeon. You know, they're pretty good, nice fame. It's not as good as a normal dungeon with people in the group, but you know, it's good fame for if you're on your own and you can't find a group. Still got the giveaway on, so please enter that if you want to have a chance to win. As you can see, there's a guy here already. He probably has some sort of a similar build to me. In some ways, no. Now, one other tactic you can think about is wait until this guy gets so low that he's taken down potentially, and then start flagging hostile. That is one tactic you could use. If you start flagging hostile, some people might just leave, so you have to wait until the chance is good. But again, it's up to you how you do it. Some people might find that unfair, not worthy, not nice. I'll be the nice guy and accept his invite. But yeah, I mean, you could have waited until he got into a really bad situation, and then just, you know, go hostile, flag up, and kill the poor guy. If someone could think of it, they're probably going to do it. And I didn't think of it until it happened to me. I didn't notice that there was a guy. I got downed by mobs, and he'd already seen that sort of thing happening, and decided to go hostile, and then come in and just basically finish me off. So, you know, shit happens. It's a tactic, you can use it if you want. Now, you'll have a chance to see what the loot looks like with two people. So, there was 14 books, we get 7 each. I've completed my daily, now I've got my chest. I mean, solo dungeons, it's possible to do them as a 2 if you just speed through and do everything super quick, but obviously bear in mind there will be less loot. So if you're capable of doing it solo and you don't need the help and you're confident in PvP, it's up to you whether you bring a friend or not. But big congrats to Albion Online, Sandbox Interactive for bringing this style of content. It's really refreshing and really nice. And also it's their 2-year anniversary from what I was reading, and I believe that's why we've got the Mists of Albion buff again. So big congrats to them. The game has progressed massively over the years. I remember when I first came on in, I don't know, maybe the first 3 weeks of alpha, and I hated it. I absolutely hated the way the game was. I couldn't get on with it. It just wasn't my style of game. It was a good game at the time, but it just wasn't for me, and I gave up after a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I just couldn't play it. I just didn't touch it ever again, and it makes me really sad looking back that I didn't give it more of a chance, considering where it's come to now. You know, I could have been God knows where, with God knows how much money if I'd stayed in the game at the start. But they've made a lot of improvements. I came back close to the free-to-play week. I heard that it was coming out and decided to come back and give it a chance before it went free-to-play and see what it was all about. And then it went free-to-play, and I'd enjoyed my experience before the free-to-play, and then with free-to-play it's a totally different game from what I was used to. So for me, they've done leaps and bounds with this game and made it really interesting and a really, really fun game. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. You know, don't forget the competition. Give a big thanks to Sandbox Interactive for the competition, you know, and just come and enjoy the game. Make sure you check out the solo dungeons, and if any of you are watching that have never played this game before and have just stumbled across the video, I have a referral link below. It helps me and it helps you. You get a little bit of rewards from it, and I get some cool in-game stuff. So check it out, and if it's a game you want to play, you know, use my referral code, hit me up in game. You can see my name there, Boomslang Gaming, and I don't mind to give some people a few tips. Obviously you can watch my videos as well, a lot of them are tutorial based. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, appreciate it as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Boomslang out, laters all.